And a lot of you were tweeting me. I got mad DMs on fucking Instagram. I swear I got at least 30 DMs on Instagram. Did you see this? Did you see this? People were tagging me in various different articles. And just in case, before I go on my tangent, you missed this storyline, let me catch you up to speed because not everybody's paying attention to the gaming space. This past weekend, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, nine-time award winner, including Game of the Year, at the only real award show that matters besides maybe the Golden Joystick. It got stripped of its award, I believe 2, at the Indie Game Awards. Now, why was it stripped of its rewards at the Indie Game Awards? And this is where I'm gonna go off on a tangent. But before I do, actually, wait, let me explain. No, I'm not gonna explain it. I'm gonna use this TikTok. This TikTok came across my For You page. I'm gonna use this TikTok as a great example. So the first point I want to make before I go off on my tangent is reading is very important. Reading and comprehending what's going on before you comment on something will save you a lot of embarrassment. Now, this video comes from a content creator I covered a couple weeks ago, right before the Game Awards, where he mentioned that if the Game Awards was ran by real gamers, Expedition 33 would have never been in the conversation. It would have never been nominated. And I completely disagreed with that. And to be fair, the comment section on that video, they were clowning him. They're calling him a ball and gun gamer, which I don't think he is, but I don't think he played Expedition and he just is not in the know about the game, basically. But he popped up. I don't follow dude. He popped up on my For You page again, and he was talking about Expedition 33 and this whole situation about how it got stripped of its rewards from the Indie Game Awards because of the use of generative AI. And the reason I wanted to highlight this video is not to pick on him, but it's more so I feel like this video is a great representation of a lot of what I saw online. A lot of people that just clearly read headlines without reading and doing their own research about what actually happened, because you're basically just trying to, capitalize on the drama. And, before I even play the video, I would like to say, from content creator to content creator, if you want to be taken seriously in the space and you want to build credibility, read the articles. Actually know what you're talking about. I'm gonna just play the video. I'm gonna let it rock, and then I'm gonna respond to this because I feel like what he said, it represented a lot of what I saw on Twitter. So don't think I'm necessarily picking on him. I'm just attacking these arguments that I see on social media. And I've seen a lot of people complain I don't let the video play all the way through. I always pause it. So I'm gonna let it play through and then I'm gonna talk about it, man. I'm gonna talk about it. Let me pause this music real quick.
We need answers. It's starting to make sense. Expedition 33 fans, we need answers. It's starting to make sense how you only had 33 people in that studio and made this beautiful game. They were using AI the whole time. And one of the things that people were bragging on about this game was the art. And they said they used AI in the art. And I'd be damned if you look at some of these characters, they look like some shit that AI would make. Am I lying? When other games were found out to be using AI, it got marked as AI slop. They're just selling you stuff to get your money and all that. That 33 people creating this game isn't that impressive anymore if they were using AI. Now, people say they were using it for the models and all that, and they took all of it out. But the thing was, people still found AI after they took it all out in the game when it released. Is that fair to other indie game creators that lost their IGA Game of the Year award? No. And that's why IGA ripped that Game of the Year award away from them and gave it to somebody else. Now that Expedition 33 gets caught using AI and is left in the game, people are giving it all the excuses in the books.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man, as well as a lot of people who have been making these same arguments, are just loud and wrong. Before we get into it, you know what I gotta do. Hold up, man. Shout out to Jonathan with the super chat. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Guys, if you want to be in the creator space, please make sure you read the article or watch the video and comprehend what you got going on before you comment on it. You are looking bad, man. You are looking bad. First, you said if real gamers ran the Game Awards, Expedition 33 wouldn't be there. But it's very obvious that you and a lot of people, and I'm using this video as an example because a lot of people sounded just like him on Twitter, did not read the articles. He said it was generative AI all in the game. No, it wasn't. All right, so let me explain the story to you. This past weekend during the Indie Game Awards, Expedition 33 was stripped of its rewards, which, by the way, was totally performative. And I'm gonna get to the Indie Game Awards as well, because I'm gonna get on their ass too. I got something for everybody. It got stripped of its rewards because it used AI usage, and it used AI. In the Indie Awards, it is against their rules to use AI. They forbid it. So if your game gets nominated and they find out, they are going to disqualify it. So when the Indie Game Awards kicked off, they removed the award from Expedition 33. But the problem is, the Indie Awards knew that there was AI in the game before the game was ever won an award. The developers they've confirmed this a long time ago. And if you guys would have read the article, you would have known the AI was just one thing. It was a wallpaper inside of the world, and it was a pre-existing Unreal Engine asset that they downloaded. Because keep in mind, this is an indie game. They just needed some placeholders, so they downloaded some free artwork off the Unreal Engine marketplace. They later found out it was AI generated, and then they patched it out. And the indie award show knew this beforehand, but they waited till it won an award to strip them of that shit. And you want to know why? It's because nobody gives a fuck about the Indie Awards. This is how I know this conversation is disingenuous. There's no nuance in this conversation. I ain't never heard nobody, man, listen. I ain't never heard nobody talk about the Indie Game Awards. Y'all wasn't talking about it last year. You wasn't talking about it this year before the drama. The year before that. They did this shit to get a fucking headline and you niggas fell for this shit. So that's my shot at the Indie Game Awards. This shit is fucking fraudulent. They knew it was in the game before. They patched it out. It was an honest mistake. But then he's sitting in this video, and this is how I said I know you didn't read the articles, because he's sitting in his video saying the AI is all in the game. Apparently, I thought the artwork looked good and the characters, but it makes sense how they did it with a small studio. Bro, they have an image of what was AI generated. It was this. It was a wallpaper. They downloaded this wallpaper right here off the Unreal Engine when they were developing the game. They later found out it was AI generated, and they got rid of it and put real art in there. That's all that happened. But if you only read the headline, you think these niggas is the biggest snakes in the industry. We have a media literacy, a literacy problem in the United States. The average reading level is 6th grade. And it shows. Because you only read the headlines and then you run to the internet and think you're proving something. Now let me be fair. All that aside, what I just told you, if you still feel like they don't deserve the reward afterwards, even though it was an honest mistake, I'm gonna let that rock, right? I'm gonna let that rock. But the problem is, I am willing to bet a paycheck most of y'all didn't read this, because if you did, you'd be like, it's not that big of a deal. I genuinely think this award show used this shit for headlines, and y'all fell for it. And who's leading the brigade? I hate to do this, but the main culprit I see is them Silk Song niggas. Y'all are annoying. Silk Song is a cool game, but it's mainly niggas with anime pictures as their profile picture, clamoring for Silk Song, leading the way with the misinformation. And y'all fell for this shit. They where everybody was ready to turn on Larry so quick as it's saying. It's fucking, I want to show this again. This is what it was. And the worst part is, this is how I know this shit is performative. Then we get a screenshot of the most played games, right? the past few weeks. It's still Arc Raiders AI. I'm pretty sure this game is full of fucking AI. Them damn NPCs, they talk like it. Larian already confirmed they used it. Claire Expedition 33. And even this one didn't even use AI. It was an honest mistake. And this is what I hate about the internet. There's no room for nuance in a conversation, bruh. Because I guarantee if most of y'all knew that it was an honest mistake that they went and corrected, you'd be like, you know what? I'm willing to let that slide. No, you fell for it, but don't say we fell for it. I didn't fall for it. You fell for it. You fell for it. It had a limited number of pre-existing Unreal Engine Marketplace 3D assets. None were created with generative AI. No Gen AI assets are in the final game. AI tools were previously tested in 2022 for placeholder textures. Those placeholders were then removed within 5 days after launch and replaced with the intended textures. All you had to do was read the article, guys. I see think pieces all up and down the timeline about how this is the death of gaming. Expedition 33 is evil. They don't deserve nothing. Y'all just like the game last week. Now you found out it was an AI wallpaper. You hate the game now. That was an honest mistake. Evil corporation. Yeah, let's talk about that. And this is what I mean when I say this shit is performative, right? The energy y'all had for this game, where's that energy for the data centers Elon Musk is building in Memphis, Tennessee? He's building a second Grok data center. He already built one. They're puffing pollution all into the air, and they put that shit in a black neighborhood, and they're just polluting everybody's lungs and slowly killing them. Where's the energy for that? I just read that AI data centers have used more water than every water bottle company combined this year to keep their servers cool. Where's the energy for that? Y'all don't care. Y'all just mad that Expedition 33 won. Because if you did, you would care about them black folks that's dying in Memphis. You would care we running out of drinking water. Y'all just got agendas to push. And I'm gonna get back to you. I know you got an agenda to push because it goes back to what I said earlier. I covered this dude 2 weeks ago when he said on one of his videos, if the Game Awards was ran by real gamers, nobody would even be talking about or nominated Expedition 33. You, low-key, were upset because if you go look at the comment section of that video, everybody, and I don't want to say everybody, but it was like 50-50. It was a large portion of the comments was clowning him, calling him a ball and gun gamer. And I'm not going to call him that because I seen on his page, he plays different stuff. I seen he play Kazaa, underrated game. I give you that. I give you that. But you didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And you got clowned. And I think low-key you was hurt. So you read the headlines about the AI without reading the articles, doing the research, and you instantly ran to that phone and started recording. And now you got another bad take because you didn't look into the situation. Because I stand on it. This will not be a story 6 months from now, hell, a month from now. Because I'm willing to bet a paycheck. I seen it in the comments right now while I'm streaming. Some of y'all like, oh, I didn't know that because y'all just read the headline. That's why I'm the go to this shit. Nigga, I read. Fucking read. R-E-A-D. Say it with me. Reading Rainbow. It'll save you a lot of heartache. Especially if you want to hop in this industry shit. You can have a difference of opinion on stuff. That's cool. Because at the end of the day, we just talking about gaming. And that's why I say don't be attacking people. It ain't that deep. I ain't finna call nobody out their name and nothing like that. But at least come to the table and be genuine about your arguments. We gotta stop. This is the problem with algorithms. It promotes and it encourages first to market. But it doesn't encourage and promote being correct. And that's why we have so much disinformation and misinformation and straight up lies spreading when it comes to politics, real world shit, and even this gaming stuff. Because everybody wants to be first to market to get views instead of actually looking at what's going on. Because once again, for the third time, I would bet a paycheck if more people knew this is what it was and it was patched out of the game after they realized it was left in, they wouldn't fucking care. Yeah, why you keep talking about, oh, this nigga, bruh. I need to turn my bot on, bruh. This motherfucker keep typing in all caps, bruh. You got away with too much. Quit shouting, bruh. I'm only allowed to shout, nigga. So I hope we understand. Like, look, you're allowed to dislike the game. I really don't give a fuck. You're allowed to dislike the game. But I stand on the fact that this shit is mad performative, bruh. This shit is mad performative. Most of y'all did not read the article. You were just happy to see it fell because it swept a lot of your favorite games. What's the name? And because of it, you've seen a lot of misinformation spreading all over the place. This is the bad thing about short attention spans. You got to pull the Meet the Grams beat one time for the responses. Type shit. I hope more people at least understand what was going on instead of just running. That's why you didn't see me say nothing on social media, because I was looking into it. I was digging and diving into the threads, finding the articles. And like I said, another reason I know this shit is performative is because I've never heard anybody talk about, hey, chat, no funny shit. Hey, what's that meme from, shout out to Bruce Drop 'em Off, when he said, gun to the head, name 5 DDG songs. I'm not shading DDG, but hey, gun to your head right now. Name 5 category winners from the Indie Game Awards 2025. I'll wait. Who won Best Action? And don't Google it. Don't Google it. Who won Best Action Game? Who won Best RPG? Who won Best Puzzle Game? Let me know. Who won? Since we care about the Indie Game Awards so much. Who fucking won? Nobody watches this shit. This shit was performative as fuck. And once again, if you look into this story, they knew this shit ahead of time. Because the developers were transparent the entire time. They said they patched it out. So you let it get nominated, you let it win, you waited for them to win, and you said, wait a minute, you guys used AI? That shit wasn't a secret. That shit wasn't a fucking secret. I didn't even know about the Indie Game Awards. Yeah, they used the shit for a headline is what it was, bro. All this shit is fucking corny to me. And I think this is the downside of social media promoting clicks and drama with the algorithm. Everybody wants to be first to market. Everybody wants to get the views. But what happened to being right? And I'm not talking to the people with, now that I presented, you know, the full story, if you still completely disagree, you know, that's fine. That don't bother me. It's more so like, it's just a lot of misinformation being spread. Because I guarantee you most of you guys would not care about this shit. And don't say you would, because y'all are still, TBH, I got a DM today. You need to get on Arc Raiders, bro. You need to play this. I already streamed this shit. It's just not for me. It's okay, but it's just not for me. Y'all on Arc Raiders, that shit's full of fucking AI. I'm pretty sure this game is full of fucking AI. I see a lot of y'all screaming Game of the Year. I love how even though Expedition 33 got disqualified, Silk Song didn't win the Indie Game Award. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yo, Silk Song what I'm about to say, if it don't apply, let it fly. But them Silk Song niggas are going into my top 5. Y'all up there with the Fallout New Vegas niggas, the Bloodborne niggas. Y'all are fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's not solely them, but it's primarily them that I see spreading this bullshit, bro. And people falling for it.
Yo, shout out to Jonathan with the super chat. Shout out with the super chat. The people, the Silk Song people who cool, you know, whatever. But I'm seeing a lot of anime avatars screaming, and that shit didn't even win nothing, bro. That shit didn't even win nothing. What you said? What did us New Vegas niggas do? New Vegas would be at the bottom, but y'all talk about New Vegas too much. Have you played New Vegas? But anyway, I'm getting off my pedestal. You know. It's an unfortunate situation. I don't care that it didn't win a fucking award. I just wish people would fucking read articles, dude. I didn't want to remaster. They tried to pull a Kanye West. It's a good game. Fuck you mean? I didn't say it was bad. But y'all never shut the fuck up about that shit, bro. And Silk Song niggas is in there. Y'all never shut the fuck up about that shit, bro. I made a video basically using the Boondocks read, nigga read. Everyone was confused. No spoiler, but they about to get a whole lot worse because of the new Fallout season. Oh yeah, I mean I watched the first season, so I know that the second one's taking place in Fallout Vegas. Basically, that's where the last season ended. I already know. I'm kind of hot. I kind of want to cut on the air before I move on and cover some other stories. But 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Ah! Get like, oh, watch out. Okay, shout out to Anthony Joshua. Shout out to Anthony Joshua. You think Silksong community is bad as Sparking Zero? No, Silksong is worse because Sparking Zero doesn't even have a community. Shout out to Jonathan with the super chat. Appreciate it. The response segments deserve a title. Yeah, Sparking Zero don't got no fucking community. Hey, who's playing that shit? Be for real. Be fucking for real. Niggas is losers. I hope at bare minimum, yo, people gotta calm down. People gotta calm down. We gotta read these articles. It'll save you a lot of embarrassment because this shit cap as fuck. The Indie Awards is cap as fuck. Hey, next year I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction before I move on. Next year, nobody will be talking about the Indie Game Awards unless there's some type of drama again. Nobody will be talking about it because I just made a joke, but couldn't nobody name me 5 awards besides the fact that this guy, we know who got stripped of an award, but we couldn't name any awards though. I can't tell you. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, shout out to Showtime Jay, bro. You said no community is nuts. It is no community in that fucking game, bro. It is no community in that game. What else I got for y'all? Oh, and you know the funniest thing is, just keeping it on the conversation of Expedition 33. You remember Shroud a few weeks before the Game Awards, he said, don't let that game win Game of the Year. We all knew he didn't play it. He's a ball and gun gamer. Really more of a gun gamer, but you know, goes hand in hand. He said, don't let it win Game of the Year award or whatever. Yeah, the ball and gun general, the admiral. He recently started playing it and he said he liked it. Did all that campaigning against trying to keep it from winning awards, and let's see what he has to say.
Dare I say something out of the blue? Something I thought I would never say.
You say he's streaming it right now? That's funny.
Dare I say, Asmongold was right. If I remember correctly, he said, when I play this game, after it wins Game of the Year, I'm going to enjoy it. Dare I say he was right?
Nice.
Is it too soon to say that? I mean, the game can't get worse. It's going to only get better.
He's still early in the game and he's already enjoying this shit. It's crazy. Asmongold is the reason he played the game, but I mean, whatever. If the roaches help him play more better games, it's fine. I'll give him kudos. At least he tried it and he admits. And here's my thing. This has always been my stance. You don't have to think this is Game of the Year. You can think Silksong, Hades 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance, even Death Stranding. I don't care. My stance is always, as long as you pick something respectable, I'm cool. My issue with a lot of people that give these stances on what should and shouldn't win Game of the Year is they don't even understand what they're arguing for. You don't gotta agree that Expedition 33 is Game of the Year, but you gotta at least understand. I understand why Hades 2 could be somebody's Game of the Year. I understand why Silksong could be somebody's Game of the Year. But it's like, why wait afterwards? Like, you already made a fool of yourself. At least he's one of the few people that are trying it. And I'm seeing a lot of people trying it and saying they're loving it, bro. I'm about to play that shit off stream. They was talking about this shit like it was fucking Mind's Eye, Pink Eye. Shit, it don't even have to be respectable. It's their Game of the Year. Nah, it's gotta be decent at least. It's gotta be decent. Like you can, like if you say Mind's Eye is your Game of the Year, I'll accept that, but I'm not. Like I'm gonna laugh. Cause like me at the end of the day, we're just talking about video games, so I'm never gonna call nobody out their name over no shit like that. But I am gonna look like, nigga, what? I am gonna laugh at that shit. That's why I said at least pick something respectable, bro. Yeah, you're not wrong, but then you kind of are. Like, get the fuck out. Like, if a nigga came up to you and said, "Yo, NBA 2K26 is my game of the year," you're not gonna laugh. Like, come on, be for real. Yeah, there's a limit. There's a limit. You gotta at least pick like a 7 out of 10. Like something respectable. Mind's Eye is crazy, man. Yeah, bombastic side eye. But at least shout out to Shroud. At least he tried it and he's enjoying the game. I hope he beats it. And he'll probably understand why at least it got nominated. Expedition 33 Studio. I seen somebody, by the way, in the YouTube comments saying that I'm playing defense for the company or whatever. Nah, not really. I'm just trying to be fair about the story. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that I just proved a lot of people don't read. And I know a lot of y'all don't because I saw it. When I revealed the actual story about what was going on, a lot of you in the comment section lit up and said, I didn't know that part. Because y'all read the fucking headline. And that transforms into I'm defending the company. I almost never defend corporations on this fucking stream. But I was trying to be fair on this one. I'm like, I don't think you guys read what actually happened. Yo, shout out to Black Shogun, because the moment I revealed it, a lot of you were like, oh yeah, this is fucking stupid. It's performative outrage because people were getting clicks. Nobody will be talking about this in 2 months. And matter of fact, next month, you guys will probably be dunking on fucking High Guard. That's going to be the next big drama. Niggas is not even going to give it a chance. I don't know if it'll be good or bad, but people are probably going to shit on that shit. Battlefield 6 got AI in it. Call of Duty had AI in it. But here's the thing though, with those games, we know it has it in there. Those aren't indie games, but if they were nominated, they should be like disqualified. My thing is what I was arguing is they downloaded those assets from the Unreal Engine. They didn't know they were fucking AI. When they found it out, they patched it out later. So I'm like, we can't give a little bit of leeway. There's no nuance to that conversation. It's just black and white. There's a difference between doing something intentional and evil, and then another thing. I think for Activision and like Battlefield, that's really bad because, mind you, EA just sold for $55 billion. They were worth $50 billion, so they just made $5 billion, and they're releasing unfinished games like Skate. It's just different. They make so much money. Even Black. Shit is crazy. Oh, so we get a studio that deserves the glaze and now it's a problem. Right. That's the funny thing too. I was thinking about too. I feel like people complain a lot that I hate on a lot of shit when I don't. I'm like realistic, and I also state what I like. People just don't. I literally just talked about Ninja Gaiden 4 last week. Nobody's gonna talk. Matter of fact, look at this shit right here. Let's look at this. Where my shit at? Y'all think I'm playing? Let's see. This is one of my worst performing videos in the last like 3 weeks. It's me talking about how I like Ninja Gaiden 4. But people love when you respond and talk about negative shit. The point being, and I always show this with the data, people only remember the negative shit, but they don't remember anything positive. And like, I'm actually trying to talk about something positive and talking about how this story's I would say the story's blown out of proportion. And no, you're playing defense for the corporate. No, I'm not. What I'm talking about is you can't read. That's what I'm talking about. Folks love the drama. You say it all the time. I'm proving that whole 6th grade reading level thing is a real thing. And it's very scary because it's like, it's hard to tell if anybody's even arguing in good faith. It's hard to tell if they're arguing good faith or they're just genuinely fucking stupid. Not gonna lie, I didn't even know there was a new Ninja Gaiden game. It's on it's on the Game Pass. Do you think GTA 6 will use AI? I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked, especially because of the scale of the game. Shout out to Dre Day. If it comes out that it did, I'm curious to see if people keep that same energy. Well, anyways, Expedition Studio won't scale up for the next project, even though they can, they said. Speaking to Edge Studios boss Gilman Broshish said he does not feel tempted to grow the company in the wake of success of Expedition 33, which was the studio's debut title. Why not? He said, I think it's good to have limitations when you are creative. It's the best way to be the best version of yourself. We could scale up now. We have a lot more money, but I would say it's not tempting for us because even the management team and myself, we like to be hands-on and do things for ourselves. He said, we love making games more than we love managing, so we want to keep doing that. These past 5 years were some of the best of my life, and I want to be happy like that again. Basically, he's saying that he's trying to keep the team hungry, try to keep things small. They probably get paid more too if they keep the team small, like the devs get paid more or whatever. It's all in bad faith, which is sad in my opinion. You would think the gaming community wouldn't be like this outside looking in, but sadly, it's just like anything else. It's like, you guys got to keep in mind, the Game Awards is supposed to be a celebration of games. Like it's not supposed to turn into like this tribal thing where you start attacking other people and making up and slandering people. just because your favorite game didn't win. I saw a comment on the GI podcast where dude was like, he said we were full of shit because he's like, go listen to the Game Awards in 2020 podcast because he's like, you guys were bitching that Ghost of Tsushima got robbed by The Last of Us 2. He's like, how dare you talk about how people are bitching about Expedition 33 won. And I'm like, in my head, like, if this dude ever sees that video, that's not the same thing, bruh. I stand on that. Ghost of Tsushima should have beat The Last of Us 2. It was robbed. But the point is, and I know for a fact, if I go back and listen to that podcast, we were just talking about how we thought it should have won. We weren't on social media spreading misinformation and conspiracies about the use of AI inside of a game. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's some weird other shit, bro. Like, like we're making up conspiracies about a game that beat your game at an award show. Like, bro, what happened to just playing the games and having fun and just having like a fun barbershop conversation about games? It ain't that deep. Yeah, you weren't on Reddit hating on the game. Yeah, we were just discussing the award show. Then again, gaming communities are getting worse because of the poisoning in the well. The equivalent would be if Black Ops 7 won over Expedition 33. Bro was mad. People disagreed. Like, bro, we're allowed to disagree. This is interesting. I'm curious to see though with their next game, with them keeping the studio to 33 people or however many, it was like 30 or whatever. I'm curious to see will that and a bigger budget, will that affect the outcome of the game? Will they feel stressed out? Because like I feel like the expectations are going to be bigger. I think that's one thing that they're not taking into consideration. If you didn't watch the GI podcast, I almost feel bad for Sandfall Interactive because in my opinion, with their first game that they ever released, they dropped the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. They dropped the documentary. Whoever had it, they dropped Illmatic. You see what I'm saying? Like they dropped a great first project that's going to set the bar so high. People are you whether you realize it or not, you have an advantage when people have no expectation towards you. But when you have an expectation, now people are going to be, they have to understand people are going to be looking to nitpick things, including myself. People are going to be looking to nitpick things when your next game comes out. So I'm curious to see if that pressure will get to them and will they feel the need with the extra money to hire some help. Yeah, they dropped a get rich or die trying. Yeah, like they're gonna have expectations through the roof. So it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. I love the even though they can. Yeah, even though they can, they decided they'd rather keep it small. That's good. That means they want to keep their creative control. Oh, and then speaking of more of the Indie Game Awards, there was some more drama as well. Apparently some other games got stripped of rewards, but I'm pretty sure you guys didn't hear it because it wasn't Expedition 33, further proving the point that this is all performative. Statement from the Indie Game Awards' latest announcements regarding Chanty. Chanty's award was retracted by the Indie Game Awards producers over cartridges being produced and sold by Mod Retro. Response to a virtual signal statement by the Indie Game Awards director filled with falsehoods and inaccuracies. So I don't know. Does anybody understand what that fucking means? They use cartridges that were sold by Mod Retro. Is that like, are they like a bad company or something like that? They got their award retracted, but I didn't really look. This shit got 300 likes. I didn't see nobody talking about this. Y'all, this is probably the first time y'all heard this. And this is an example of what I mean when I say this shit is performative, like a limited run. They got strict requirements apparently. I just didn't see nobody talking about this. Another game got its award stripped from that shit. I didn't see nobody making no videos. They're an arms dealer, apparently. Let's look it up, bro. What the fuck? Mod Retro. They must do bad business or something like that. Make them knock off bootlegs or something like that. My question is, why aren't these things being looked into prior to awarding a game? I can't speak on this, but if you look into the Expedition 33 story, it was. They knew about the mistake of the AI being in the game and then them patching it out. And they still gave them the award. And then after it won 9 awards at the Game Awards, they said, we're going to take it back. And they created a headline. That's why I said they cap as fuck too, the whole award show. And I predict next year, nobody will be talking about this shit unless they shit on another popular game. Super random, but why is Zion trending? Hold on, let me click it off screen. I don't know. Let me look at this shit off screen because I don't want no fucking BBL demons popping up. Zion Williams over his last 2 games. I don't know why he's trending. I don't see a definitive reason. Oh, I think it's because he's going off. It says Zion over his last 2 games off the bench, 24 points, 29 points. I guess he's balling right now. Don't worry, he'll be injured in a week. But a big gumbo. Man, what happened to that Matrix game Unreal Engine was making? That wasn't a real game. That was a tech demo. That was a tech demo for the PS5, I believe, just to show the power of it. But let's see. While they turned him into a 6-man, he was supposed to be the next LeBron. He about to be out of there, bro. He about to be out of there. The article I read said they asked if AI was in the game, and a Sandfall rep said there wasn't. Once they found out, they DQ'd him. That was not in the article I read, but if that's true, I'm gonna be honest. Then I agree. I agree with they shouldn't have been lying about that shit. They should be DQ'd for that shit. But I still stand on the fact that like it's performative for the most part. Because if most people saw what it actually was, I don't think they would have been that fucking mad, bro. But if that's true in the article that you read, I'm cool with them DQing them. I don't want anybody to feel like I don't think they should have been DQ'd. It's more so I'm like, why are y'all this mad about it? Meanwhile, EA is over here talking about they about to make full-blown AI games that are gonna be straight bullshit. That's what we should be fucking mad at, bro. Is this let me see. Let me see. Indie Game Awards rescind Vanguard honor for ties to military contractor. Battlefield time? Almost. People, yeah, I need y'all the energy for the files, bro. Where that angle for the e-files at? The Indie Game Awards rescinded an Indie Vanguard honor for Gordon Code's Chanty just days after Thursday's ceremony. The team was selected as an Indie Vanguard due to their impressive work in GB Studio and for creating such an amazing throwback for the modern day. Chanty's physical cartridge is available exclusively through Mod Retro, a retro gaming company owned by Oculus VR founder Palmer Luckey, who also owns the American military contract Enduro Industries. Recently, Mod Retro announced a Dory branded version of their Chromatic handheld console, which is essentially a Game Boy clone. Worse yet, Chromatic is made from the same material as attack drones. This makes sense. I mean, if that's what they care about, they said they don't want to deal with none of that American imperialism, and they knew this ahead of time. It is what it is, bruh. It's their award show. It is what it is, bruh. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Mariah Mills is making a pot roast. Mariah Mills. Did you see how they tried to throw MJ under the bus in the files? Yeah, with them whack ass pictures, bruh. What else I got for ya? Oh, this is the one. This one's on Blue Sky. Let's see. Nomination committee is officially retracting debut game of the year, awarding both categories to new recipients. Additionally, we're retracting one of the Indie Vanguard recipients. Full details can be found here. Let's see what he got to say.
On behalf of the IGA's nomination committee, I do have an update regarding the Indie Game Awards 2025. As you know, we have a hard stance against Gen AI in video games. It's something we talk about throughout the year when discussing any potential nominees. On the day of the premiere, Sandfall Interactive did in fact confirm that Gen AI was used in the making of Expedition 33. Despite agreeing that no Gen AI was used in the making of the game when it was submitted to us for consideration, unfortunately, that's not the case. That clearly goes against the regulations we have in place and disqualifies it from nomination. So with that, the IGA's nomination committee is officially retracting debut game and game of the year from Sandfall Interactive. Each award will now be going to the next highest ranked game in its respective category. So I am delighted to share that debut game goes to Sorry We're Closed. And your game of the year for 2025, Blueprints. Both Alamode Games and Dogo.
It makes me wonder. The only thing I can think of and the reason why this happened is I could see a situation where when they submitted the game, since the AI was already, because remember, it was some assets they downloaded off the Unreal Engine store, they patched it out. And then when they went to ask them about, did you use AI? I can see a situation where the devs were like, no, because it wasn't in the game. But then they found out that it was because of the assets they downloaded. Which, like, even though there's nuance to that, if they still want to disqualify them, I'm cool with that. But I still stand on the fact that I'm like, I don't think this was that big of a deal, because realistically, they weren't lying because they didn't use it themselves. That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't generate the art themselves. It was an asset they downloaded. And that's what I'm saying. There is nuance to this conversation. So if they want to disqualify them, I'm still cool with it. That don't make me mad. I don't give a fuck. It's not going to affect my ability to enjoy the game. If 33 wasn't a game, what do you think would have won? If Expedition 33 wasn't there? Probably Silk Song, Hades, or Kingdom Come To. It's probably like a misunderstanding. Like they were saying no because it wasn't in the game. They patched it out. I could see it being an honest mistake. Yeah, like this feels like one of those ones, and that's what I've been trying to articulate. This feels like an honest mistake that got blown way out of proportion. But yeah, it is what it is. I respect the decision. I don't really care about the indie awards anyway. Is there always nuance, but for some reason people choose to only see it as black and white? Because the assets are just there in the engine. Shit happens, bruh. I predict, before we move on to the next topic, I predict let me go ahead and the situation with Expedition 33, I predict that's going to happen a lot more in the future than you would like to think. I can see a situation, if what the developers are saying is true, they downloaded some assets from the Unreal Engine because they were on a budget and they just needed a placeholder, and then it turned out to be AI later, so they patched it out. I can see that happening a lot more with indie developers. They patch it out, and I'm curious to see if people are going to keep the same energy. So Expedition 33 is no longer Game of the Year for the indie awards, not for the Game Awards. I'm curious to see if they're going to keep the same energy, because like that's one of my arguments. I just feel like it's an agenda against Expedition 33. Not unless it wins Game of the Year. People are not going to care about this next year. I agree too. I don't think people are going to care about this